Welcome back to AgriTalk in Palm Springs, California. Our guest, Curt Covington, Senior Vice President of Credit for the Bank of the West. And Curt, let's talk about the economy. There are signs, we're seeing reports indicating that maybe agriculture and rural areas can help lead the country out of this recession. Do you think that can happen?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I think Vilsack even made that comment yesterday, and I think the answer is yeah. I mean, if it did happen, I think it would just show the resiliency of the American farmer. But I really think it can happen. I mean, I take a look at the state of California. We grow 99% of the almonds, pistachios, basically all the nut crops. 80% of that crop is exported. I mean, 20% of it is consumed in the United States. But with the cheap dollar, the farmer is seeing record high profits on those crops. And I honestly do believe that this industry and the ARA and all of its members will benefit from this. But I think just from what I've seen, net farm income is up for the farmers and is projected to be higher in 2011. The average debt for the farmer has gone down. It went down 2% this last year. I mean, that's a dramatic drop. So the balance sheets of farmers are much stronger this year than they were last year, and well above the 10-year average. So I think that the farm economy can lead us out of this recession.
Of course, we acknowledge there's still a lot of problems, especially in the livestock sector. A lot of those people struggling, as you mentioned, dairy as being one of those. But given what you just laid out there and the numbers we have, will that make credit more available for farmers in the coming year?
It's an interesting question, and I've heard this over the last, since the financial crisis is credit available, and will it become more available? I'm going to talk about that a little bit today, but credit to farmers has never really been depleted. In fact, if you go over the history, back even through prior to 2008, credit to farmers continues to grow. Okay, and both for lending for real estate purposes and also for operating purposes. But I will tell you this, and I want to make sure everybody that's listening, and these are the farmers that are listening to this, there's a difference between availability of funds and the criteria to get the money. The criteria for getting the money is going to get tighter. Okay, and a lot of that is not driven by the creditworthiness of the borrower. Some of it is dictated by the regulators. And so the availability of funds is out there, particularly for agriculture, and the faucet was really never turned off. But I will tell you that to get the money, farmers are going to have to jump through more hoops. There's no doubt about it.
Quickly, overall, what do you think of the Fed's decision to pump more money into the economy? Did you think that was a good decision?
I thought that was a bad decision. I just think that, in my mind, it's just a bad decision. All it does is, and in my view, it could create all kinds of potential problems for agriculture. One, it just raises the potential for inflation. I think this whole issue of the real estate bubble is going to play into that. I think the economy needs to go through some corrections on its own, and in my view, loosening of the cash flow at the federal level doesn't help the farmer.
They say the recession is technically over, but it's hard to tell somebody who's out of a job that the recession is over. Where do you think we're at in this process of recovery?
Well, it's the chicken or the egg. Sorry for the pun here, but it's the chicken or the is unemployment, in my view, drives everything. The level of unemployment in this country is unacceptable. But I don't think the federal government or the state governments can fix it. Unemployment, if you take a look at this, the two biggest industries that have been hurt the worst are the restaurant business and the accommodations business, the hotel business, have just been really hurt by the economy, and that's because people are staying home, and they're not going to. So, my view of this whole deal is that the economy has to fix it. But if you give the businesses in this economy the ability to work their way through it, they will do it. But I still see more pain in the economy, particularly in the state of California.
Curt, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's Curt Covington, Senior Vice President of Credit Administration for Bank of the West. All right, we'll take a break here at the ARA conference in Palm Springs, California. We'll come back, talk with some folks from AGCO, and find out who the 2010 Operator of the Year is. That's coming up. Stay with us. It's halftime on AgriTalk.